Hey everybody, XR here. Just wanted to continue this little tutorial series on Crusader Kings II. Last time I sort of went over a lot of the basic concepts of the game, the way a lot of things work, where on the screen a lot of information and stuff is located, but we still haven't actually unpaused the game. Now we're playing as this man right here, King Harald the First, the Fair Hair of Ostlandet, which is a little kingdom right here, and historically this is the man that united the Kingdom of Norway, and we are going to try to follow in his footsteps and unite the Kingdom of Norway, as we have chosen that ambition. And so finally this time we will unpause the game, so I will do that right now. So time is now advancing. You can see up here the days are starting to tick by. There are 5 levels of speed, from this, which is the slowest, to the default, to quite fast. Generally, I leave it on the slowest so I can manage things as they pop up, unless there's some reason to speed it up. A lot of times during wars, when you're just waiting to siege castles and all that kind of stuff, I'll speed it up in order to not have it take forever, basically. So anyway, so we should get started on our campaign of trying to conquer Norway. Now, as you can see here, there's already troops moving around of other people. Now, this bar here is red, or not red, it's gray, which means that these guys are not hostile or allied to us. They have nothing to do with us right now. So they're engaged in some other conflict going on over here. These are my little retinue guys. I'm going to combine them into one army. And you can see here my king is leading them, and a couple of my other guys are leading them. And you can actually change who leads them. Like if I wanted to put my Marshal in command of this group, because he has slightly higher martial skill. My Marshal, he's my Marshal, M-A-R-S-H-A-L. He has higher Martial, M-A-R-T-I-A-L skill, which would make him a better commander for this army. Every army has 3 commanders. There's like a center, a left flank, and a right flank. But, okay, so normally, if you're playing like a Christian king, you need a casus belli to declare war on anybody. Right now, these are all independent of each other and of me. But we want to conquer them. So, normally you would need a casus belli, some kind of claim on the county or something like that. But I'm a pagan, and I have chosen uniting Norway as my ambition. Therefore, I have a casus belli now, which is called the subjugation of Norway, that will be applicable to everybody who is in the de jure Kingdom of Norway, which, as I explained last time, is this right here. It is the sort of commonly recognized, even in this time period, region of Norway, is the de jure Kingdom of Norway, and I'm going to try to unite it into the actual Kingdom of Norway. So I can attack anyone in that line without needing any reason other than the fact that I want to unite Norway. So I'm going to tell these troops to move over here, and then I'm going to declare war on this guy. Now, you're not allowed to declare war if any of your levies are raised. Right now I have no levies raised. I just have these guys who are my retinue, and they're always raised. Oh, something's happening. So these will pop up all the time, little events and things, and it automatically pauses the game when these pop up so you can deal with them. Dear nephew, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. I have discovered a plot where Gudrun Yngling seeks to kill Olaf of Opland. Your humble spy master, Olaf of Opland. Oh, okay. So my spy master has discovered that this guy, Gudrun Yngling, so someone in my family, is trying to kill him. So let me pause this again, because I just want to look at that quick. Now, he doesn't like me, if you'll recall. And he's not paying me taxes because of that. But it doesn't necessarily mean I want him dead, because the person who would take over for him, this guy would take over for him, and he actually does like me, so maybe I do want him dead. But who is the guy who's trying to kill him? It was somebody Yngling. Doesn't seem to be. These guys seriously have the same name? That's hilarious. Anyway, okay, I don't know. I'm not sure who that was who was trying to kill him. but frankly, at this point, I don't care if he dies, because he hates me, and his heir actually likes me, so it would actually be beneficial for me if he was killed. So, sorry, Spy Master, I'm not going to help you out. As I was saying, you can't declare war if you have levies raised. Right now, I have no levies raised. I just have these guys who are my retinue, so they're always raised. So before I do that, before I raise my levies, I will select this guy. So I click on the county, and it brings up the county information here. And this guy is the Chief of Telemark, rolled. So I can right-click on him and bring up Go to Diplomacy. And over here, you see all the things we can do. Now, I can offer vassalization, which eventually will start to work. People who are part of my de jure kingdom and begin to recognize my power will actually agree when I offer vassalization to them, which means they will join my kingdom. Especially after I actually form the kingdom, you only need to control 51% of the territories in order to form the kingdom and say, okay, you know, the Kingdom of Norway is now a thing. And at that point, other people who are part of the de jure kingdom, who are recognized to be Norse, will basically swear fealty to me because I've declared myself the king of the Norse, and, you know, they're good Norse people, so they'll say, you've proved yourself, you know, we'll declare, you know, we'll swear fealty to you. Right now, he's not going to do that. You can see I have offer vassalization selected. It says down here, no, and it gives me the reasons why. Base reluctance, not my de jure liege, small difference in rank. So we'll declare war on him instead, which is the top option here. And when you select on declare war, it brings up down here your Casus Belli, and there could be more than one of these if for some reason I had more than one Casus Belli. Right now, the only one available is subjugation of Norway. And if I mouse over it, it says pagans are allowed to subjugate other pagan rulers once in their lifetime. With the become king ambition, there is no such time limit against targets within the kingdom, so that's what I'm using. Free men are always willing to follow the mightiest ruler. So, when we declare war, if we win, I'll gain 100 piety, he'll lose 100 piety, he'll lose 100 prestige, and I will take all vassals, I will take or vassalize all titles held by roles within the Kingdom of Norway. So that's what I want. So I will select that as my Casus Belli, and then hit send. So, we have now declared war. So I'm pausing. You can see he's brought his troops up there, and the little bar there is red. So he is my enemy. So we're going to go up here, go into military, and this is showing my my levies here. So first of all, I'm going to raise my levies. So this is from my domain. So this is from the 2 counties here, which I control personally. So raise personal levies. There they are. There was some here, and they automatically are stacked with these guys, and I had another 300 here. So really, especially for a small war like this against, he's only got 1 county, I want to combine all my guys into 1 army. So I'm going to tell them to move here. Then I'm going to go in and raise my vassals. So these are all the troops. You've got raise county levies, which I'll raise whichever county I have selected, or I can just raise them all, which is what I'm going to do, raise vassal levies. So this raises all the levies from my vassals who are willing to provide me levies. This guy is not providing me any levies, which annoys me. And I think it's because he doesn't like me, so he should be assassinated, and someone who likes me should take over. But we'll see what happens with regards to that. So anyway, now the game's still paused. All my troops are moving down into this area, so we'll unpause it and let them do that. You can see the arrow fills up. His troops are actually, well, they were running away, now they're not. This little bar over here on the right is their morale, and you can see it's very low. They do not have a very good hopes going into this war. This guy's morale is also very low, but it should increase. Sometimes they are summoned with low morale, and then their morale increases as they exist. In fact, his looks like it's going up a little bit too, but we'll see if we can't do that. I'm going to speed this up a little bit just to get my guys assembled more quickly. So we're just waiting for this guy. One of the downsides of playing as the Scandinavians is that the terrain is very rough in Scandinavia, and it takes your armies forever to move through it. What's this? The king of the Magyars almost decided to settle down in the Carpathian Basin, making it the new homeland of the Magyar tribes. Okay, so that's just like a world event that's going on, historical event that it's telling me. And he looks like he's running away again. Does not want to fight my army, which is more than 3 times the size of his army, so I could certainly understand that. Alright, I'm going to slow this down again now that my guys are about to be... You can see the border of this county is glowing red because I'm at war with them. Alright, so here's all my guys. You can see these are all the different individual armies here. These are the houses that control those different armies, and I'm just going to click on this button to merge the selected unit. So now we just have one army with me in command of the primary unit. We are now going to move into Telemark, who is the county that we are invading and hopefully conquering. Really should not be that difficult for us to conquer them at this point. Just waiting for them to get their butts over there. Okay, so now we're in Telemark. He's still running away that way. He's probably going to try to circle around here and besiege my one of my provinces, but I'm not worried about it. He doesn't have enough guys to make that big difference. So here we are. We're besieging Telemark, and all these places are under. These are the locations within his within Telemark, which is the name of the county. He's got the Fredriksten, which is a city, the Temple of Eidsborg, and the city of Skien. Sorry, this is not a city. This is a fort. So this is a fort, Fredriksten. This is a city, Skien, and the Temple of Eidsborg. And you can see here, and this is going quite slow, so I'll probably speed it up again, but this green bar on the left is my morale. The green bar on the right here is the morale of the defenders. And you can see over here, I've got 1,063 attackers. There are 243 defenders. They have 225 defenders in the garrison and 18 levies that they've raised that are defending the city. So basically I'm besieging them. Time is going by. This bar over here on the right, which represents the morale of the defenders, will continue to go down, and eventually it will bottom out. Now that has to happen for each of these locations, so it can happen 3 times in this county. Down here, you can see this is the indicator of the war score. I'm at war with this guy. He's the chief of Telemark that I'm at war with. I can click on it, and it shows you the war score, which right now is 0%. Now what this is a measure of how close you are to winning or losing the war. It goes, same as opinion, from negative 100, which is bad, to positive 100, which is good. And it increases by a certain percentage every time you win a victory, whether that's a successful siege or a battle against another army. And if you lose, it goes down. And when it reaches 100%, then you're able to enforce your demands on the other person, and they will surrender to you. If it's a less than 100%, but you're still winning a lot, and you want to end the war some other way, including what's called a white peace, which is kind of where you say, okay, we've had enough of this war, you know, we both want to end the war, but neither of us have to make any concessions. You can do that usually at less than 100%, but you need 100% in order to quote-unquote win and enforce your demands upon the person you're declaring war on. Now, white pieces are not very good because you lose prestige. If you declared the war, you lose prestige. If you didn't declare the war, if someone else declared war on you and you forced them to sign a white piece, you actually gain some prestige from that. But basically, if you declared the war, you don't want to stop until you win, unless something goes wrong and it looks like you're going to lose, in which case a white piece is better than surrendering, but it's certainly not what you want to do. So while this is besieging here, let me just go explain a little bit more about locations, which I mentioned as we're doing this. So every county here has locations. You can see they are showing up. The one over on the right here is the primary location of the county, and every county has at least one location, which is their primary, and then they've got slots for additional ones, some of which are filled, some of which might not be, and these are basically the different important locations within the county. So like here you can see this is the county of Akershus, which is my capital county, indicated by this shield thing here, and here's the fort of Akershus. It's like a castle basically, which is my the actual capital within the county. You can see it shows you my tax rate, the fort level, which has to do with how easy it is to besiege and conquer. So I can click on it, and it shows me here more information about the capital, including how many levies it will give me when I raise my levies. Ooh, another event popped up. My beloved mother, Ragnhildr, is concerned that she is still not married. So my mom, who's only 38, is unmarried because my dad died, which is why I'm the king, and she wants me to find her a husband. Okay, so I will find her someone nice, or here I was hoping she'd take the vows, which will annoy her. I will find her someone nice, and I'll come back to that in a minute. I'm going to pause this because I don't want her to get mad at me while I continue talking about the location screen here. So, it shows the tax, the garrison that it's going to give me, the garrison size, the fort level, and all this kind of stuff. It also, here is where you can improve your province, and each of these are things that you can build to make this location better. So this is a fort, so I can build improved fortifications, I can build castle walls, a keep, militia training grounds, barracks, stables, castle town, and each of these has a benefit which you will be able to see by mousing over it. Like this will increase my tax income by +2. This will increase, stables will increase the light cavalry that I can summon from this province by 35. Barracks will increase heavy infantry by 30 and pikemen by 15. So by building these, you're increasing either the defensibility of the fort, the profit you get from it in tax, or how many troops you summon from it. And these are all fairly expensive. I mean, you saw I had 64 gold before. I'm already up to 89, so I'm earning, if you mouse over this little wealth thing in the corner, it shows you your income. My monthly balance is only 0.147, and I'm still getting, I've still gotten my money up fairly quickly from 64 to 89. With bigger countries and such, I've had my monthly balance be as much as like +10 and +11, so you can get money fairly quickly. But these are fairly expensive. They range from, the cheapest ones are 75 gold. The most expensive listed here right now is 300, but every time you improve these, a second and third level of whichever these improvements pop up, and they get more and more expensive, and the benefits get better and better. And you can click here to kind of, you can also look at like some of these other ones, like here's the city of Oslo, which is also in Akershus, and this will have different improvements you can build for it, because it's a city, not a fort. So you can build a port, you can build a university, which increases the technology spread rate, which I talked about a little bit last time. So each type of location, of which there's 3, there's forts, cities, and temples, have different improvements that you can build, and multiple levels of those improvements. They're important to do, but you don't expect to improve the hell out of it really any of your places most of the time. They take too long. They take over a year usually to complete each one, and they're too expensive, and you'll own too many territories with too many locations in those territories to worry too much about improving all of them. It's generally a good idea and pretty doable to make a fairly large amount of improvements to your home territory and your capital, which will definitely benefit you. I mean, they're definitely worth doing if you can afford it. It's just most of the time, for most of your places, you can't afford to go crazy with it. So that's the deal with locations. So now that I've finished talking about that, and one other thing about that, you can see some of these have actually blank locations, holdings, I guess they're called, slots. And you can actually found new cities, forts, castles, whatever. That's very expensive. It's like 750 gold, I think. But like, okay, so here's Opland, which is the one my uncle, who doesn't like me, owns. And you can see he's got a fort, Dover, and a city, Lillehammer. But if I wanted to build a new holding there, I could, and you can see here, I could build a castle, a temple, or a city, and they would all take 730 days, and they would all cost me 600 gold to build a new one. I haven't had a whole lot of occasion to use that myself playing this game, but it's there if for some reason you ever wanted to. I suppose it would be more useful if you were playing as a very small lord who controls just like one county, and you wanted to boost yourself up, which is another viable way to play this game. You can play starting as a very low, not powerful lord and try to work your way up, to be a king or whatever. I started as a king in this particular game. So anyway, I'm going to unpause this again now. Oh, shoot. No, I'm not, because I forgot. We need to find our mother a husband, because she's complaining. So this is my mother down here, listed under parents. She's mad she's not married, her husband is dead. So you can do this for any character you have power over. You can click on this little button right here, which is Arrange Marriage, and it brings up a list of suitable suitors, which you can sort. Now, and there's a lot of things to consider with this, because this is a way to possibly make alliances and get claims on places. For me, I think immediately, and it tries to put the best choice first, and in this case, I'm pretty sure this is the best choice. This is Ivar, the petty king of Sudreyar, which I believe... No, it's not that one. It's another Norse kingdom around here somewhere. And he's a king, which is good, because my mother was a queen. So I can select him, and it will show me here. I'll gain 1 prestige. You would lose a lot of prestige if you marry someone of lower rank, which... would not be, a good thing. I could try to make it a matrilineal marriage, which means any children born to it will be of her house, not his house, but they usually don't go for that unless you're much more powerful than them, so in this case he's not going to. And we'll preview here whether they'll accept or not, and he will accept, so we'll marry my mother off to that king, and hopefully that'll get us some leverage should we need it in the future. So now I'm unpausing it, we're still besieging this telemark here, so I'm going to speed up time a little bit just to make it go a little bit faster. To the magnificent King Harald, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. I accept your suggestion that Ragnhildr and King Ivar I get married. So he's accepted. They are now married. And I think maybe... No, he doesn't count as an ally, but any kids they have will be relatives of mine, which would be useful should I ever need anything from whatever kingdom that guy was the king of. Vlar. It wasn't this one. I was kind of thinking and hoping that it was this one, but it's not. It's some other Norse kingdom. I don't see it around here, but could be over in England somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to pause it. This does not pause the game when this happens, but here's the victory screen. We've successfully besieged the first location in Telemark. So it's just showing casualties. We took 0 casualties. They had 0 defenders, 0 survivors rather, so we slaughtered them. So now we're going to go on and besiege the second location. And you can see this dotted lines here. This is the color of, like, represents my kingdom. You can see my border is that color as well. And that means that I've partially taken over this one. And after you take the first one, which is the fort, the rest of the ones usually go pretty quickly. These are just little events that happen when you're besieging. The defenders have sallied forth. They cut through the siege lines, leaving many casualties on the besiegers. They returned back to the fortress to cheers from the defenders. So they attacked me. They got a morale boost, and I lost some troops. Events like that will happen randomly, both for and against you. Usually not enough to make a difference. Oh, here's their army coming back around. Probably going for my capital, but I don't think they have enough guys to make a difference quickly enough. Okay, victory again. We besieged Eidsborg, which was their city, I believe, and took it over. And now we are... You see, I did lose some guys in that one, but not enough to make a difference. My war score here at the bottom is 69%, so we're getting closer to him surrendering. They attacked us again. Yeah, he's besieging my capital, but we'll win long before it matters. Well, they're doing pretty good. They're successfully sallying forth from the castle a lot, but it's not going to be enough to make a difference in the end. That failed sally by the defender, so that, hurts them, boosts me. So, there we go. Victory. Okay, the lines have become solid. That means that we have conquered every location in the province, and if this guy had more provinces, I would now want to move on to another of his provinces and do the same thing again, because I can't gain anything more from besieging this province. I've already conquered it, basically. But this is his only province, so we can see over here, I now have a war score of 100%, because I have basically conquered his entire land. So I'll click on that, bring it up, and we can see war score 100%, offer peace. And this brings up the 3 choices here: enforce demands, offer white peace, and surrender. Surrender is bad. That means you give in to them. White peace, like I said, would be, neither of us gets any demands, but I would lose, in this case it looks like I would lose piety, and he would gain some piety and prestige for forcing me, basically, to say, okay, never mind. But since we have 100% war score, we can enforce our demands. So we will do that. And it says yes down here, he will agree, because they, as you can see, they are totally beaten. So send, and then he accepted. The Ostanlet subjugation of Norway has ended. King Harald I of Ostanlet won. So now you can see, coming out here, Telemark is now part of our country. It has changed color to reflect the fact that we have taken it over. If I zoom out, Ostendlet now goes over, includes Telemark. So now the war is over. We are at peace again. This is his army, but it is now belongs to me, basically. I can't control it. He's still in command of it. He's a vassal of mine now, but he's not... I still can't command his troops. For the most part, all the lords are required to give me a portion of their troops, but they still command the rest personally. So now I need to dismiss my levies because the war's over and I can't declare war on anybody else while I have standing levies. It also costs me money, having the troops up. I have to pay them and stuff, so it will, decrease my balance. You can see up there my monthly expenses are minus 0.9, and that's from paying my troops. So I am going to click on this button to disband the units. The army of King Harold I will stand down and all levies will return home. No retinues will be disbanded. No special event troops will be disbanded. Okay, so now they all went home. All that's left is my retinue here. Important to note, you should only disband your troops unless you have no choice. You should only disband your troops in your own territory. If you disband them in someone else's territory, some of your troops won't return. They'll get lost along the way, and then you'll have to wait for them to basically regenerate before you can summon them again. So if you can send your guys into your own territory and then disband them, then they'll get home safely, and you won't have to wait as long before using them again. So you can go here into military now and see this, how like this guy's troops are at 114 of 124 because some of them died, and this will slowly... So if I summoned my troops again right now immediately, he would only provide 114 instead of 124. So this will slowly regenerate over time as he recruits more troops to replace the ones that were lost. Now, because I have this Casus Belli of subjugate Norway, I can immediately go on to this next one and declare war on him, subjugation of Norway, summon my troops again, do the same thing, go in and conquer him. And I can basically do that marching around the whole thing here to take all these territories. These are all like little single one territory places that I have to conquer. Actually, this guy's 2 territories. But subjugation of Norway doesn't matter that much. Now, later on, if you're fighting against people who control more than one territory, like, say, these guys, and you declare a war on them for some other reason, like, pagans can declare a war of invasion, where it's not for uniting a kingdom, it's just, hey, we like war, we're going to attack you. So, let's say I did that on these guys. I have to declare which county I'm invading, so I could declare war on Sami, which is the country, for the invasion of Lappi. So my guys would go in and invade Lappi. If I won that war, I would gain control of Lappi. However, he would still have control of this. I wouldn't get the whole country, because I can only invade one territory at a time. And then I would have a truce with him, with the king of Sami, for 10 years. And I would not be allowed to declare war on him for 10 years after that. And if you do, you're considered a truce breaker, and you get tons and tons of prestige lost, and everyone's opinion of you goes down and everything. So you really don't want to be a truce breaker. So you need to consider that kind of things. I believe in this case of Naumadal here, because of my subjugation of Norway, Casus Belli, if I attack them, I will conquer the whole country. But that's not always the case. So yeah, so it's been about half an hour, and I think I've given you guys a pretty good idea of combat and war in this game, and also talked about locations. And that's basically all that you need to know to get started in Crusader Kings, between what I talked about last time and what I talked about this time. So hopefully, some people will try it out now that might not have before. So yeah, it's a really fun game. I like it a lot. It's been fun talking about it. So stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching.